It's funny because I'm similar to the exchange students. When I came here in 2011, it was only my intention to stay for the year. I had this wonderful, lofty goal. I would travel to 5 or 6 countries and teach in 5 or 6 countries and then return to either America or England. Korea was the first country I wanted to come to. Absolutely, it was the top of my destination. I wanted to come to Korea first. And so when I came to Korea and I taught, I like this place. So then my thought was, how can I stay? And so I applied for Hanyang because they had an opening, and I said, all right, if I get the job, I'll stay. If I don't get the job, maybe I'll look to another part of the country, because there were a lot of places that I was considering. I managed to get the job here, so I changed what I planned to do. My original plan was travel for 5 years and then go back to either England or America. What I did was I stayed in Korea, and now I travel and visit other countries and come back home to Korea. So similar to international students, when you come here, Korea is an amazing country. And when you come here, you don't really want to leave as somebody visiting from the outside. And I've been with a lot of Koreans who have said, why Korea? What do you mean you wanted to come here first? And I look at them and I'm offended. What do you mean, why Korea? They are mingled. This is an amazing country. Why not Korea? And it's interesting to me because if you look at the miracle of Korea, you go from the Korean War and how quickly and how well Korea built itself into a powerhouse of a country. The social information that's taught about Korea, that's put out about Korea. Yes, it's primarily in entertainment and in products and in services, but all of that gives you the impression that this is an amazing country. So when you come here, and you, especially if you compare it to a country you've lived in before, you know, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. Because, and my family's funny because when I decided to stay, are you ever moving back? No, but I will come visit. So I do visit. I visit England and I visit America because I have family in both countries. And so I do go to both. But my visits to those countries reinforce my desire to stay here. My name is Samantha Affleck-Smith. I've been working at Hanyang University since 2012. I work in the General Education Department where we teach a variety of courses. Our main courses deal with presentation skills and essay writing skills, level 1 through 4. For international students in coming to Hanyang University, they will have a varied situation. So on the surface, you have they're coming to Hanyang University to study. That's brilliant, no problem there. But what they'll gain as they come here are the language skills to be able to converse with their peers and with their educators in Korean, so the university provides that opportunity for them. Many people think, oh, well, I'm just going to learn basic. You can, if that's where you want to stop, but Hanyang offers a very comprehensive program. So you can go from a beginner speaker, I know no Korean, teach me the alphabet, all the way to an advanced speaker where you're able to stand on a stage similar to this and make a full presentation to people. We've had students, international students that have come and studied here and stayed with the university as well as staying in Korea because they've had such an amazing time from the people that you're going to meet. So you'll meet people on campus and you'll say, okay, well, this is a protected environment. What happens when I leave the environment? Well, when you leave Hanyang, we have a college town and you're going to meet even more friendly, warm people that are going to be very encouraging to meet you here. Well, okay, well, that's the Korea campus. What about when I take the train? When you take the train and you leave and you explore more of Seoul, you'll meet more welcoming, warm people that are going to be excited to meet foreigners because many Koreans are excited when they meet foreigners. So you'll not only get to meet people who want to meet you, but if you're lucky, which many of our students have been, you'll develop a language exchange. So they'll be using their English, you're using your Korean, and it's a wonderful symbiotic relationship. So most of the students that come here gain the educational skills that they desire to acquire, but then they'll also gain a deep social insight into Korea that they didn't have from the outside. Maybe their perception of Korea was superficial. I like K-pop, I like K-dramas, but when they come to Korea, they get to see that there's so much more to this magnificent country. They get to see the people, the culture, the food, which is delicious. They get to see so much more of Korea. So in teaching in the classrooms, depending on the subject that you're doing, you can have anywhere from 15 students, which is a very small class, all the way up to 50 students, which is a large section class. Most of the classes on average about 20 to 24 students, and the beauty of that number is you're able to work with the students more closely and able to give them more individualized attention. So when you're interacting with them, you will find various levels of engagement. My favorite classes are the ones where I have a mix. So I'll have Korean students and I'll have international students, and the international students will be varied. So they'll be from different parts of the world. I've had students from European countries, I've had students from the North American continent, I've had students from the African continent. I have a lot of students that will come over from Southeast Asia. I have a beautiful mix of students coming in from China. And some students I've been blessed with have come from Turkestan, Turkmenistan, and Pakistan, where I get to teach. So there's a beautiful mix of the students, and what's wonderful when you have the Korean students and you have the international students, they at first will pick sides. So you'll have the division. And then if they're fortunate or tortured, depending on how they see it, they'll get a professor like myself who will mix them up. And then every couple of weeks, I force the mixture again. And I explain to them at the beginning of the semester, this is done to help you. It feels like torture, I know, because it's strange people and you don't know these people, but that's the point. One of the social skills that we help our students develop is the ability to network. And a part of being able to do that is to speak to people you don't know comfortably. Even if you're nervous, even if your heart is pounding, it's about being able to do it. So when we have the mixture of international students and Korean students, both sides benefit. The international students are able to meet Korean students and develop a relationship with them that they might not have been able to do outside of that experience. Absolutely. When visiting or exchange students come to Korea, initially they're doing what I like to call getting their feet wet. So they'll come for 2 to 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe even a year, just to try it out. But what I often find with students is, especially the ones that come for a short period of time, so those that come for 3 months, maybe 6 months, oh, I really like it here. I want to stay. And so if they're able to extend their time and not leave, they're ecstatic. If they have to leave, their desire is often to come back. I've had the privilege of teaching many international students that when they've left after their time, they always find a way to come back. They're very, very determined to come back. As a matter of fact, I'm speaking to 2 personally that are on their way back after spending time here. So there are many students that the experience is so rich. Again, you have the superficial idea of just studying, but they gain so much more out of their time, and they're able to see and explore themselves in ways they didn't imagine that they could in this environment, that they definitely want to come back or extend their time here from when they started. And the thing is, and that's the beauty of Hanyang, you get the levels of Korean language are up to you. But the students that learn the higher levels of Korean are the ones that have the greatest opportunity to stay here and then become part of the society and work within it. So it's not just, I'm going to find something only in English. It's no, I'm in Korea. I'm going to find something where I can contribute to the Korean country and way of life. So one of the benefits of working at Hanyang University that I've enjoyed thoroughly in my time here is that I have office hours. And so for 2 hours a week, they're open office hours. The students can come, speak to me about work, just speak to me. And what I've found is, especially with international students, they will take that opportunity to just talk. If they need help with work, of course, I'm there for that, but some just want a friendly ear. The beautiful thing about being a professor is, yes, you teach courses, and so you have the educational aspect, but I've always believed and I've benefited from professors who were also mentors and who were there as guides. As students, you're taking a journey. We are trying to offer you some assistance on that journey. So it's not just about building your intellectual acumen, but also life skills that you'll need, because when I talk to my students about networking, you are going to leave this magnificent institution. This is where you're safe. So at this safe space, practice talking to people you don't know. If you walk up to someone and say, "Hi, my name is Joe," the worst they're going to do is go, "Okay, Joe, hello," and they might walk away. But that's the worst thing they're going to do. If that's the worst thing that can happen, try it. If you try it once, try it again. This is an amazing program. It's a wonderful opportunity that I would encourage any student who's thinking about it go to the other side, come. You won't regret it. You will have an amazing experience. You'll have wonderful support from the department. They will look after you. So it's not that you're just coming here and you'll be by yourself. They will organize your living arrangements to make sure that you're around people that can help and support you, and they'll also be there as help and support to help you throughout your journey.